So in this tutorial, I'll be talking about Itertools in Python. So Itertools actually it's a module, it's a collection of tools for handling iterators. So they are actually data types and can be used with for loops. So Itertools also has some advanced tools. The most common Itertool is actually a list. So let's discuss some tools here. The first one is actually products. So in order to use products, we can say from Itertools. This is actually inbuilt, so you don't have to install anything. We can say import product. Yep. And uh, now I can say now I can actually declare two lists, maybe 1, 2, and a second list with items 3 and 4. So now we can say product is equal to product of A, comma B. Now if I just print the products, so what this will do is actually this will actually calculate all the possible orders or all the possible orders for this particular list. So if I just run this program, okay, this is actually an iteration tool object. So in order to properly print it, we need to convert it into a list. So let's say list here, let's say list here, and now if I run the program, we can see that this products tools has been printed. So now if we can actually specify some additional parameters here. So for example, we have a repeat parameter and we can set it to 2. So now we are allowing it to do repetition. So I'll show you what I mean here. So if I run the program, okay, this list is too large, let's just shorten it, let's remove some elements, and if I run this, okay, we can see that now repetitions are allowed. So okay, so now since repetitions are allowed, it is actually repeating here. So it's actually repeating. So 1 3 and 1 3, and then 1 3 and 2 3, and then 2 3 and 1 3. So it's actually getting all the possible orders from here. So now let's take a look. Now let's take a look at combinations. So uh, combinations. So we have to import combinations. So from Itertools, we'll import combinations, and now what we'll do is we'll declare a list here with some items inside, and now let's say comp is equal to combinations of A, and we also have to specify the length here. So we have to specify the length here. So let's say 2. So this is actually going to be the length of the outputted list. So now if I just print list of comb, and if I just run this program, you can see that we get items, we get some list with some items inside. So if we just change this to 3, we change the length to 3, okay, this the length is also changed to 3. So yeah, so this will actually make all the possible combinations for this particular list. So another iter tool we are going to take a look at is the accumulate tool. So yeah, so for that we have to import from Itertools. Let's import accumulate. So yeah, this will actually print an accumulated sum actually. So I'll show you what I mean by here. So let me declare a list here with some items 1 2 3 4 5, and then we'll say ACC is equal to accumulate of A. Now let me just print both A and accumulated A. So if I just run the program, I actually have to specify list of A here. So this is now an iter object, so I have to say list, and if I run the program, you can see that it has actually printed out an accumulated sum. So here it is 1, then 1 plus 2 is actually 3, and 3 plus 3 is actually 6, and 6 plus 4 is actually 10, and 10 plus 5 is 15. So we can also, this is by default, this is actually addition. We can change it if we want. So I have to import operators for that, and then to actually say, and I have to specify another value here called function is equal to operator dot mul. Yes, this one. So we don't need braces here. And now if I just run the program, so we can see that we have actually got the results here. So here 1 is 1, so 1 into 2 is actually 2, and 2 into 3 is actually 6, and 6 into 4 is actually 24, and 24 into 5 is actually 120. So that is how this accumulated iter tool works. So the final iter tools I would like to discuss here is the infinite iter tool. So this will actually, as the name suggests, this will actually be executed until we stop it or we have a condition to stop it. So to use this, we can say from iter tools, we have to import we have three iter functions, cycle, or we have the count first, count, and then we have the cycle one, and then we have one more called repeat. So these are all infinite iterators or infinite iteration functions. So let's see how count works first. So say for an example, I'll use a for I in count of 10, and I print I here. So if I run this program starting from 1 or starting from 10, it will actually print infinitely. It will print without any stopping, or it will actually, if I just stop this program, okay, I've stopped it because it is actually printing out a lot of numbers. So what this count function will do is, here it is actually taking 10 as a parameter, so it will actually start from 10 and it will actually add 1, and it will actually continue printing elements infinitely until we stop it. So I can maybe say if I is equal to 15, then we have to maybe break out. If I run the program, yeah, you can see that 10, 11, 12, and at the end, at 15 we actually broke out of the loop and the program has stopped. And if I don't specify this condition here, it will actually continue printing infinitely. So that's the count method. And now we also have the cycle method. So I have a list here maybe called 1 2 3, and we have actually set its name to A. So if I say for I in cycle of A, and if I just print I just run the program, what it will do is that it will actually keep on printing this these three numbers in a cycle. So it will start with 1 2 and 3, and then it will actually cycle back, and it will again start with 1 2 and 3, and it will actually print infinitely until we actually stop it or we have some condition to stop it. So the final method we have is the repeat method. So for example, I say for I in repeat, and I specify 1 here, and if I print I, And if I run this program, this will actually keep on printing I here until we stop it, or we have some condition to stop it. So we can also specify how many times we actually want to print it here. So here I have specified 10, so it will actually print 1 for 10 times. You can see that it has actually printed it 10 times. So this is the repeat function. So this is all about iteration tools in Python.